can do anything that we wanna do. Long as you got me, and I know I got you. We a team. No in between.
Judy Katz, I want to welcome you to the Wise Women Doing Wonderful Things. I'm going to start, which is the way I love to start with all my guests, which is 3 words that you would describe yourself.
I am an optimist, I am a connector, and I am a book doula.
A book doula. So let's start with that.
Well, you know how a doula helps you birth a child? I help people birth best-selling books, and I've done it 60 times.
How did you hone your craft?
I was writing since I was 11 years old. I read every book in the library, and when I read Guy de Maupassant, and he could make these little stories that bring you to a small town in France, I want to transport people with my writing. And so that has been the basis of my entire career.
So where did you start?
So I went to UC Berkeley. I had my
So did
own...
my daughter.
Yeah. So Meaning Edge was my column from the poem by Trumbull Stickney that goes, I cannot understand you just because you lean over my meaning's edge and feel an emptiness of things I have not said. And I just thought that was beautiful. So Meaning Edge was my column. So I had 4 years of columns. I thought naively that I would come back to New York
And be a star.
and yes, and get my own column on the New York Times.
Of course.
I went for a job interview, and they asked me one question.
Which was?
Do you type? So I was very smart. I said no.
So you didn't end up in the typing pool, like
No,
with all the other women.
Exactly. I would still be there. So I wound up at William Douglas McAdams, an advertising agency, medical. And every day, I was ballsy back then. I guess I still am, but
yes, you are, Judy.
Thank you. I stood outside the men's room, and when Harry Henderson, the big chief, came out wiping his hands, I said, Harry, I can write, I can write, I can write. I was a photo researcher pulling pictures out of a metal cabinet.
How long had you been there?
Maybe 2 weeks,
Well,
3 weeks. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I don't
This was
write.
not like 10 years later, you're
No,
like
oh,
finally,
God,
no, 2 weeks
no.
later
I
you were at
wasn't- I was
you're at
a
the men's
writer.
room. Okay.
So he gives me an
You get a sense of what's to come.
He gives me an assignment. I go home. I spent all night writing it. And 5 o'clock he calls me in. I can't breathe. And he hands me back my page, and it's covered with blue pencil. And I start crying, and he says, what's the matter? And I said, I thought I was a writer. And he said, you are. Oh. And he was the kindest man.
Oh, no.
He saw something in me.
Right.
And he made me an assistant editor. And I became a writer. From there, I wrote for McGraw-Hill and Medical World News. And I wound up at the Muhammad Ali-Joe Frazier fight, sitting ringside with the doctor.
What was that like, sitting at that fight?
25,000 people were there. 2 men had heart attacks. I was in the midst of everything with the doctor. And then I wrote the story. And Irving Mitchell Felt, who then owned the Garden, saw it. And he said, who is this? So I wound up being the youngest PR director of Madison Square Garden. I usually stayed about 3 years in a job, and I was always looking for the next step. And I wound up director of special projects for the National MS Society. Then I got pregnant at 35. I married a man with 3 little boys. So I became a stepmother.
And were you planning on being pregnant? I mean, were you planning on having children?
I wasn't planning on having children,
Okay.
but then when I hit 35, I thought it's now or never.
Okay.
I was hoping, he had 3 boys, so I was hoping for a girl. And I got my daughter. From there, I wound up starting my own PR firm.
And was that because you had a child and you wanted to kind of shift and
Yes, I wanted to own my own time.
Right.
And thank God I did that, because a lot of people tell me, unfortunately, they age out of certain corporate jobs. I'm not only not aging out, I'm more in demand than ever at 85.
At 85.
So I had a successful PR company, and I had 14 people working for me at one time in Midtown, and I would commute home to, I had a co-op, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths with the terrace, a nice big place on West 70th between West End and the river.
I know.
And I would,
It's
and
315 West 70th Street.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
it had
yes,
to be.
yes, that's right.
That's right. It's like as you're telling me 70th Street Terrace,
Oh my
okay,
God.
3-bedroom, bing, 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 floor plan, facing
Exactly.
south. No, anyway, sorry.
So
go ahead.
one day, I was 65. At that point, I was 65. So I came home this one day. I remember it was August, and it was 95 degrees in the shade. And I wasn't writing. I was everybody's, Jewish mother. Everybody had a drama. So I sat down in my beautiful empty apartment, and I said, what can I do that I don't need a team around me. I can do it on my own. And I thought of ghostwriting, which back then, 20 years ago, was not as popular, not a thing. It was not. So I went to my biggest client. She had a Wall Street firm, and I said, you need a book. And she said, why? I said, because it's the ultimate marketing tool.
Yes, it
she
is.
made millions on that book.
At the time, would you ghostwrite and no one would know? It was actually like on the down low, you were helping people. Is it now not the case?
Half the books now say and or with Judy Katz.
Do people have to say that they've had a ghostwriter? I mean, or did it
nobody
usually?
cares anymore. Who doesn't have a ghostwriter?
No, I agree.
If someone is a busy CEO of a major company,
Right.
or they are a celebrity, they have a ghostwriter.
Right.
I did a Holocaust memoir that became a documentary, and he just wanted to tell stories of what happened to him during the Holocaust that he had never told anybody. And he came here with $10 in his pocket and built a $100 million business here in New York. It's called Angel of the Ghetto.
Wow. So let's say you come to me. You know, I've always had an idea for a book. How do you find somebody's voice?
I have a whole formula that works. I interview you on tape. I'm very intuitive. I know what you're saying. I know what you're even not saying. And then I write it in your voice. I give it to you, and you tell me if I captured your voice.
Got it.
I do a lot of different things. I do developmental editing. If somebody doesn't know what book they should write, and they pay me, that's $500 for 2 hours. But if we just meet, there's no charge. I just want to hear your story and see if I want to work with you and if the chemistry is there. So then I tell you what my fee is, and it's
What is your fee?
$150,000.
Okay.
It takes about a year. And that's if you want a bestseller. If you want what I call a bookini, it's about $35,000, and that is 100 pages or less. And that is also a very good thing.
Does anybody ever come to you and say, I want to tell my story because I want it for my family, or I just
100%, like the Holocaust guy.
Right.
Like many, I
So
do
it wasn't
many memoirs.
Was it to be published?
No, he had a large family.
And he wanted to share.
His businesses, he's famous. He was famous. He died at 92. But he took me to Europe. He took me to Poland.
Wow.
And showed me Auschwitz and everything he went through.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite something.
Wow.
But yes, people want heritage for the children's children.
So, there's a lot of people that slow down when they are, there's a lot of
When
people
they're
that,
old, like me?
well, honestly, I'm 63.
Oh my
and
God, you're an amoeba.
No, but people say to me, are you thinking about retiring? I'm like, retiring?
Dirty word.
I feel like I am just hitting my stride.
You are.
In so many ways. But I want to feel that at every one of those milestone birthdays, or at every point in which I feel like I have to shift and pivot. I want to be able to feel like I'm just hitting my stride. So I feel that from you, because
Yes, absolutely.
you're ageless. Where is that coming from you?
It's interesting. I don't take any medications whatsoever. If you believe what you see in the movies and on television, at 85, I should be a wrinkled up prune sitting in a wheelchair in an assisted living or nursing home. I should be.
Right.
So I want to change the conversation about aging.
Is there somebody that you have looked to kind of model that? Or is that just something that's born inside?
No, I think I'm curious. First of all, one of my friends said recently, you love everybody. You love people. I do. And I always think the best of people until I'm proven otherwise.
Right.
And even when they do something they shouldn't, I feel like that's someone's child. And they, I think of them that way.
Right.
So I have a lot of love in me. That might be part of it.
If somebody's telling you and really digging down and being...
It's very therapeutic.
Well, yes, but there's also the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Because
Right.
all of us have demons, and all of us have things that we're not proud of. But, you're saying that you're able to kind of see both sides of it.
What I like is when people, not that I want people to have come from a painful past, but the more difficulty you have, like some of our billionaires have come from nothing and they're self-made, and how did they get that way? I am so curious. You know, what, like you asked me before, you know, what is it that gives you that curiosity and that energy at 85? You know, I've worked with a few billionaires who have come from terrible backgrounds.
Right.
How did they escape? This is what I want to know, and I get them to tell me, because a lot of times they don't even know themselves.
Is there anything that you would guide your 25-year-old self in a different direction?
Sure. I mean, I think what I tell people, two things. One is, I never thought about money. I should have thought about money a little differently, and I would have saved more. And this is what I tell younger people, you know, don't think you're going to reach 65, 75 and you'll be okay if you don't have a nest egg.
Financially responsible.
Yes, thank you. I would have definitely, no, it's very important.
It is important.
Yeah.
It is important.
The other, I guess, regret sometimes is letting other people tell you what they think. I listen to my voice.
What are you most proud of?
You know, I am so proud that at my age, I'm still in demand. I mean, it sounds a little egotistical. I don't mean it that way. But there's so many people who are depressed. They think that retiring is going to be, you know, a wonderful time of life, and it isn't.
Right.
Because I don't have any hobbies. You know, maybe if you...
Are you dating? I mean, is there a man in your life?
Right now, after 3 husbands, multiple boyfriends, including Cary Grant.
What?
It's all in my book.
Okay, I love it. Oh, wait. Speaking of your book, what's the name of your book? Because we're going to show
From 18 to 85 is the title, yeah. One woman's recipe for a marvelous third act.
I love that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's just like 29 essays, but it's how I ran away from home at 18. I had to. That wasn't the life I wanted. And how I became the youngest PR director at Madison Square Garden, how I met Cary Grant, how I built my career, and how I became, you know, a sought-after ghostwriter.
A life well lived, and you continue to live it, and I love that. And thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you popped into the Wise and Wonderful Women, and you've been so supportive and such a great cheerleader. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you at our retreat, which is going to be so
I'm so excited about that.
It is so much fun. You have no idea. It's so much fun.
My God.
Anyway, well, thank you so much for being here.
My
Yay.
pleasure.
Come and bring it on.